We're going to introduce ourselves, of the speakers that we have. So my name is Kimberly Kwame. I oversee the learning resources team that focuses on preparing incoming club and district leaders for their roles. Our main responsibility is creating content for and managing the Learning Center. I've been at Rotary for 16 years now, and I'm excited to share some of our new developments with all of you. And I'm happy to see some familiar faces here. I'm going to pass it on to Amy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Hopkins. I'm the Curriculum Development Supervisor here at Rotary. I've been on staff for just over 7 months, but I've been a Rotarian myself as well as a district trainer for the past 6 years. So I've been very excited to join this team. What I do, along with my team of curriculum development specialists, is we work on the courses in the Learning Center and the leaders' guides for training events in person. So as Kim said, we're excited to share some new developments, some new resources with you, as well as some reminders of how to get into things or features that you may not be as familiar with. So I'm going to pass it on to Megan.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Megan Timmons, and I'm the Learning Technology Specialist here at Rotary International. I've been with the Learning and Development team for about 1.5 years and have been with Rotary for over 7 years now. I'm very excited to present this information with my colleagues today and look forward to your questions. Back to you, Kim.
Thank you. It does look like we are having some technical difficulties. Some people are not able to join the webinar. So we will get them the recording of this. All right. So today we're going to talk about, going to give just a quick overview of the Learning Center, look at some of the data, and then we're going to look at content, the overview of the content that we have in the Learning Center. We are going to look at the Learning Center in conjunction with in-person learning events and talk about some of our features and ways to stay connected. All right, so before I begin, I wanted to point out that we built the content here to be basic. It covers the policies set out by the board implementing these policies. Let's be clear that this is one way the members can learn. Did you all know, if you had our first learning management system, we launched this current Learning Center in August of 2018 because we were looking to enhance our features that we offer and get a better user experience. And I think you'll find that we were able to do that with this move. So why should you use the Learning Center? And why should you encourage others to use the Learning Center? So first of all, it's customized to you based on your language, your role, your district, and your zone. You can further customize your experience by creating a favorite list to easily reference documents later that you want to go back to. Find the most up-to-date content. When I started at Rotary, I was working on producing manuals for club and district roles, and we would print them out and physically mail them to the governors-elect to get distributed. And I will tell you that the minute those publications and PDFs were finalized, they were out of date already. But we couldn't update them for another 3 years as we had other publications that were out of date and needed updating. So the Learning Center allows us to keep content up to date, and we'll talk about it. You can also track your own progress and download certificates for courses or series of courses known as learning plans. Compete with other members for the most points using our global zone and district leaderboards and member experience. I just wanted to take a quick reminder of the multiple ways that there are to get into the Learning Center. So you can always go to Learning and Reference and click on Learning Center from the menu, or you can go to rotary.org/learn and it will ask you to sign into your My Rotary account. And just a quick note that for somebody who's never been to the Learning Center before, we send a lot of emails with links. And so just so you know, the links aren't going to work if you've never been to the Learning Center. So really encouraging people, encouraging your members if you're wanting them to get up and running with the Learning Center, if you have courses you're going to be promoting to them to take for an in-person training, really focus on getting them the My Rotary account set up and then getting them into the Learning Center once so they could reference those deep links that you all have. Once you log in, this is the homepage our members see. And this is what you would see after accepting the privacy policy for the first time when you enter. This is our course catalog, and all of these boxes represent different catalogs. On the top, you have catalogs by topic, and in the bottom, you have catalogs by language. And again, this is going to depend on what your screen looks like, what your browser language is. So this is the page you'll see if your browser language is set to English. And if it's set to Spanish, all of these catalogs and courses will be in Spanish for you. One of the other things I wanted to say is that this is how the Learning Center is customizable. So for our non-members, this is what their page looks like. There are some members that might see this page, and that is because if you joined Rotary many years ago and you submitted an email address to your club secretary, and that's what they have on file and is attached to your club. But today you go into My Rotary and create a brand new My Rotary account. And if you don't use that old email, our system creates a duplicate account. But simply, you just have to email data@rotary.org, and they will get that fixed for you. You can also contact us. We're also able to merge profiles and help you get the credit for the courses you've already completed. So again, we're just trying to create a curated experience for people like our scholars and our VTT team members, and our interactors can also see this page. So let's take a look at some of the numbers. What's the data telling us? So we have over 171,000 learners in the member side. I would say about 160,000 of those are Rotarians and Rotaractors. So that's a little over 10% of our members. Where the Learning Center is getting the most usage is in these 5 zones in South America, Africa, and parts of Asia. We also track club usage. We can see how many different clubs have logged into the Learning Center. So you can see we're at about 50% of our clubs getting access to Rotary's Learning Center and getting some of our strategic messaging that's coming from the board and the trustees. So this is a slide that demonstrates how many courses we have in every language. Some of these English courses are only visible to certain people, right? We have an Access to Learning Center report course that is only available to people with specific district roles. We have a number of Peace Fellow courses that are only for our Peace Fellows. So some of those English courses are only visible to our Peace Fellows for their orientation. And I will also say that this is a living space. And so at the end of 2021-22, you may have remembered that we discontinued quite a number of courses in English and in their respective languages. Because what we're doing is we're using the data to determine what is the most useful content, and then we're adjusting our content and streamlining it as we go so that we can be more efficient in the way we work. So just to let you know, we mostly will discontinue courses on at the end of the Rotary year. So around mid-June, beginning of July, you'll see those courses disappear. They'll get locked. They'll get locked, so you won't be able to see the content anymore, but we want to keep that course completion on your record. So anybody who's completed the course will keep it, and it'll show as locked. Anybody who's enrolled or in progress with that course, we're going to take them off the list just to clean up the reporting, to clean up the site a little bit, and so that really we're keeping those courses available so that they stay on your profile as a course you've completed. Every course, has a course evaluation. And just a reminder, as long as you click the words course evaluation, that will give you a blue check mark and it'll appear as done. So it's optional to respond to these evaluations, but we do get a lot of great data from them. And I wanted to share some of that with you here. So you can see that most people hear about courses from district leaders. So it's really the district leaders that are getting the word out the most and helping people and members navigate to the Learning Center. 97% say that the course is relevant to their role if they have a role. And 95% say that the courses met their expectations. 92% say they learned something new, while 80% are confident that they will be able to apply what they learned. And so this is a global look at these course evaluations, but we're also able to dig into, let's say, a specific course like working with your district team and to see how that course tracks and is doing. And if it's doing a lot worse than the globally, then we know that we need to flag that course and make some significant updates. So we do use this data to get a lot of information. I will also say that if you rate a course negatively and put in that a link is broken or something's not working with the course, we get an email notification about that daily, and we're able to go look at the course specifically and make a fix immediately. So that's just one thing to note about these course evaluations, is we do look at them regularly. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy, who's going to talk to us about the content.
Thanks, Kim. All right, as Kim mentioned at the beginning, this is what the homepage looks like. And each one of these boxes is a course catalog about that topic. And just a reminder before we dive into some of these topics that the Learning Center information covers basic information, Rotary's policies, role-based courses that cover what is in Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation's Code of Policies and Bylaws, as well as some basic professional development courses, like our partnership with Toastmasters. We hope that this gives members a strong base of knowledge so that live training events conducted by clubs, districts, and zones can build on what is in the Learning Center and more easily focus on regional issues and how to take action and implement what they've learned online in their clubs and districts. So jumping into our first catalog here, this is the Club Leadership Catalog. And as we've taken all of those policies and things you need to know, best practices, we break them into small chunks of information and put them into individual courses to reach the broadest audience. These individual courses may appear in multiple learning plans, which are series of courses. So you may see Getting Started with the Learning Center may be in multiple learning plans, but once you complete that once, you don't have to complete it again. Club officers each have a learning plan that we recommend they take before they start their office on July 1st. We try to only add new courses or remove courses from learning plans at the end of each Rotary year, as Kim mentioned, so we don't disrupt district reporting as much as possible. You can go back at any time to review content, courses, or save them in your favorites to find them more easily. An additional note that all of our courses are written to the audience of our members, both Rotarians and Rotaractors. So if you're a Rotaractor or you have Rotaractors in your district who will be taking on a club officer role for their Rotaract club, they can complete those same courses. So a Rotaract club president can also complete Club President Basics and Club President Intermediate. Every role-based learning plan, has a Get Ready course that gives it general overview of the role. And before we explore more of the content of that, let's take a step back and look at some of these learning plans. If you enroll in a learning plan, you can see that the list of courses that are included, as well as your progress on that learning plan. If you enroll, it's very likely that some of the courses are already marked as complete or in progress because they are in multiple places. This is a great thing. You don't have to do the same course over and over again for every new learning plan that you're in. As we break this into smaller chunks, these several different courses, it makes it easier for learners to digest the information, helps us update materials more often, and helps you self-pace to do it in the time that you have instead of having to sit for several hours to go through information at one time. I also want to mention and plug that districts can create their own custom learning plans. This is something that you may not have known. If you'd like to design a learning plan just for your district, maybe for your pre-pets or a district event that's happening that you know there's several courses that would apply to this and you want participants to take before coming to it, let us know. Send us an email at learn@rotary.org. We'd be happy to help you with that. So when you go into a course, we've looked at a learning plan. Now let's look at an individual course. This is what you will see when you go in. Some of the content will appear in that larger screen there, like you see the homepage there. Others will open up in a brand new window. On the right-hand side of the window, there's material for the course. And as long as you click on the title, it will appear as complete, as Kim mentioned with the course evaluation. Below, you'll see some courses do have additional resources. These are optional. They're not connected with your completion of the course. They're just there as a bonus or if you need a little bit more information or resources. I do want to point out a couple of things here. If your course appears as complete and then you come back and you see there is a material that is incomplete, that means that is a new material we added or swapped out since the last time you visited the course. Very often, which is the wonderful thing about this platform, we may make small edits to courses. Sometimes they are larger edits. If we revise the course, and when we revise a course, we promote it in our newsletter, our monthly newsletter, Learning in Action, which used to be called Training Talk. It's now called Learning in Action, as well as in the Learning Center itself. Within that course description on the bottom left, you can see that there is an updated, this slide says updated in April 2021. We put what month and year we updated the course. So if you're unsure, wait, this is incomplete. Did I do this? You can see when the course was updated. And finally, you can download a PDF version of the course catalog that will show any course updates on a quarterly basis. We'll have our next update probably in early January. As you saw on the slide that Kim showed, we have lots of courses, which can be a lot of information, but you can filter in many different ways. You can sort by newest to oldest or A to Z. You can filter by an individual course or a learning plan or a language, search for something specific you're looking for. So be sure to use those tools within the Learning Center. And the last catalog specifically that I want to point out is our trainer catalog. We looked at club leadership. There's lots of other catalogs, but this is one I very much want to highlight. This has basic information on how to facilitate both in-person or online sessions. We recommend that anyone who is conducting training at the club, district, or zone level should complete the Facilitator's Basics learning plan prior to the event they'll be facilitating at. We also recommend for in-person events having in-person practice sessions for your facilitators so they can practice their session and receive feedback from their peers to improve. Similar to what we have our training leaders do at International Assembly. They come in the week before, they practice their sessions so they can present the strongest possible sessions for governors-elect. Several of our leaders' guides are also included here in the trainer catalog, and as we revise them, we'll continue to build up this library. So they used to go and download the PDF directly from My Rotary. Now, as we revise them, we're putting them into the Learning Center so you can go to one place. We are right now in the process of updating the District Training Assembly Leaders Guide, and we'll add that here when it's done. So keep an eye out for that. So how do we take the online learning and make it work with our in-person learning events? That'll be the next thing we talk about. But before I get too much into that, I really want to define what is training versus what is learning. We have for many years talked about training events and a training session. And when you get to the root of it, training is giving information and knowledge to someone. The person who is participating in it, this is something that's done to them. They're sitting and they're listening to a presentation. They're just having the information spoken at them or given to them. This could be demonstration, explanation, lecture, any of those pieces. So that's where we have been. The difference between training and learning is absorbing that information in order to increase the skills and abilities you currently have. This is reading about a topic you're interested in, discussing ideas with another person and building on that learning, having those small group breakouts, practicing a skill. And this is what a participant actively does. So we are moving from training to more learning. So I mentioned earlier, our newsletter is now called Learning in Action instead of Training Talk, really focusing on that learning to make sure that our participants are active. And the reason we're doing this is we're moving away from here is just the content-centered training to participant-centered learning, looking at our individual members, officers, how are we including them in the learning so they can be the best they can be in their Rotary roles, as well as transferring those to their professional lives. So here's how we're supporting that. We build leaders guides to help guide some of that facilitation and those events. And we build those with the assumption that members have already taken those baseline courses within the Learning Center. Keep in mind that the Learning Center is those online content courses. They're designed for self-paced learning. So working on your own, in your own time, and not necessarily putting it up on a projector and walking through all together. In-person learning is the best for sharing ideas in small groups, planning your strategically, action planning, talking more about your district, your club or zone, that regional content, or wrestling with some of the challenges and the problems we may have come up frequently within our clubs. All of this together is blended learning, combining online and in-person studying. How you do this is up to you as a district leader, district trainer, or at your club level, zone level. You can bring in courses from the Learning Center, combine it with in-person learning events, maybe augmenting it with some virtual meetings, smaller in between, because we all know getting everybody together in one place can be a challenge now. But this can also include job shadowing. And we know that there's not one way for folks to learn. And so we've developed a new infographic to demonstrate this. So we're very excited to show you our new learning infographics about preparing for different roles. These graphics are currently ready and posted in English, and we will have languages coming in the next few weeks. So we have preparing to be a club president here. As you can see, it's not just about attending PETS or just taking the courses online. There are so many other things that go into preparing to take on the role of club president and multiple ways to learn. And we wanted to reflect that here. There is not one path to learn in a certain order. So you can see that these boxes overlap to indicate you can do them in any order, what works for the individual person. These new infographics can be found in the Get Ready courses as well as learning topics. And we currently have them for club president, club secretary, club treasurer, district governor, assistant governor, and district Rotary Foundation committee chair. You can download them right from those courses or in learning topics. And Megan's going to speak on learning topics a little bit later. We want to promote these, but we also want to get your feedback before we start creating more roles. Let us know, do these work? Are there any adjustments you would like to see? So please feel free to give us that feedback. We want to make it better and more useful to all of you. And so that wraps up my portion on content. I'm going to pass it over to Megan to review some of the features of the Learning Center.
Thanks, Amy. We are going to start with the menu. The three lines next to the Rotary logo at the top left of the screen is the menu. Click the three lines and the image on the right appears. These items are different pages that are part of the Learning Center. In the next slides, we'll review each of these pages. The My Dashboard page is where you'll find all of the courses you are enrolled in, or someone like me has enrolled you in. I do not do this often. Also, if you enroll in a learning plan, sometimes the courses pop out as individual courses. There is a chart showing how many courses you're enrolled in, completed, and in progress. As you complete courses, you will be assigned virtual badges for your accomplishments. The leaderboard displays the most active users in the Learning Center. There is a lot going on in learning topics. If you think you would be interested, we have a course called Getting Started with Learning Topics. I recommend you review the course before getting into this. Here's some things you can do in learning topics. You can upload content relevant to the topic. You can view, download, and comment on other materials. You can discuss best practices. You can invite others to view your materials. And finally, you can create a favorites list. These are all the documents and links that have been shared by staff and members. If you click on an item, it seems like we might be missing,
Yeah. So
a slide here.
I think if you click on an item, you can download it and also give feedback or ask a question about that material specifically. And then I'm going to take you to the favorites page.
Perfect. Thank you, Kim. The My Favorites page hosts all the materials you personally uploaded to a learning topic or privately. It also hosts any favorite lists you have created. If you create a favorite list, we recommend you create it privately for yourself so we don't have too many favorite lists to wade through in learning topics. You can personalize this site for your purposes. Make it your own. You can upload resources you want to keep in one place. You can also hide things that you don't want to view, and you can manage assets you upload from this page. On the questions and answers page, you can see the questions members are asking about a specific topic, like the first two questions on this slide with the blue light bulb, or by material, like the question with the colorful image, which indicates this question is about a specific material. You can also filter by different categories, types of questions, and topics. We encourage members to respond to other members, but we will also have staff respond if we think it's necessary. You can see the first example has no responses. The second one has an answer, and the third has 3 answers. To see the other answers, you'll simply click on the word 3 answers, and they will all appear. You can track your progress on the My Activities page. There are tabs to see overall data, course data, learning plan data, and your badges. We don't use certification currently. If we click on the Courses tab, you will see all the courses you are enrolled in and your progress as well. I do want to point out that on both the course and the learning plan tab is where you can download your certificates. We do get this question a lot. All the way to the right, you will see a black ribbon. You will click on that black ribbon to download your certificate. You can email our team with a list of individual courses you would like to see in a learning plan. The benefit of this is if you are asking members to take a group of individual courses, we could give you one deep link and you can track progress of the learning plan on your reports. So this is a customized content we can create. You can also request us to set up a learning topic for your zone or district by topic or language. For example, we have a topic called District 5890, Expanding Our Reach, which is only visible to members in District 5890. We also have several catalogs for other languages. For example, we enrolled Chinese-speaking districts in a learning topic for Rotary resources in Chinese. This reminds me, if you speak a language not represented here, but members in your district translate Rotary materials into your local language, and you would like to post materials in a central location, you can use the Learning Center for this. So you can contact us about that possibility. Finally, you can access the Learning Center on your mobile device. If you prefer to browse the Learning Center with a mobile device, there is an app called Go Learn. To access this app, visit myrotary.org on your mobile device and sign in. Then click on Learning and Reference, just like they would on a computer. Please be sure to pay close attention to the instructions, otherwise the app will not open correctly. Once the app is downloaded, users will need to continue the same sign-in process for when they want to use the mobile app. Please note there are some limitations to the mobile app, such as links to specific courses or learning plans may not open due to the sign-in process, but this should be working shortly. Now that you've learned all about the content available and how to access the content, let's look at how you can stay connected to what's new. First, if you don't currently receive reports and you are district governor-elect, district governor nominee, district trainer, district membership chair, or district Rotary Foundation chair, you can complete the Access to Learning Center reports and complete the course. Here are the steps to take. First, you'll click the 3 lines at the top to access the menu. Next, you will choose My Dashboard. Next, you will click the Access to Learning Center Reports course. If it doesn't appear on the top, you can filter in the top right corner, A to Z. Finally, you can complete the course and you should have access to reports the following Monday. These members can share reports with other district committees, assistant governors, or clubs if they are interested. The district leaders can decide if someone else needs to manage the reports and they can share them. A note that emails with reports or reminders to take courses come from learn@learnmail.rotary.org. If you want to receive these messages in your inbox, you need to whitelist the email or add it to your list of approved senders. If you don't know how to do this, simply Google how to add an email as an approved sender in Yahoo Mail or whatever email server you have. If you would like to receive communications from us about new courses or other information related to the Learning Center and more, you can go to My Rotary News and Media newsletters and manage your subscriptions. Be sure to select Learning in Action for updates. Note that we are in the process of updating this page to reflect the new newsletter title to Learning in Action. The Learning Center also has a Facebook page. You can visit our page for new and revised course promotions, data, and tips. In addition, please share the page and any tips posted to your Facebook feed. This helps us spread the word to Rotarians about this great learning tool. We are also on Instagram, and you can find us with Rotary Learning Center. If you should have any questions about the Learning Center or run into technical issues, you can contact learn@rotary.org for assistance. Now we'll take a few minutes to see if the audience has any questions. We are going to start that process now.
Okay, I did see a question that is flagged about how do you know when a course is being updated and what the release date is, and similarly if courses are scheduled to be terminated. So this year, what we did in Learning in Action, formerly Training Talk, was in May and June, we started to publicize the courses that were going to be discontinued. We also did this on Facebook as well, just to get everybody, make everybody aware of what was being discontinued. I think it's a great idea to start promoting the courses that are in progress. So perhaps once we have a better handle on the timeline for when English will be released, we can start promoting those courses as well. So I think that's a really good suggestion. But Learning in Action, our newsletter, formerly Training Talk, is the best way to get updates on the Learning Center. I also saw a bunch of questions about zone level Rotarians getting access to reports. And so we do have the ability to give report access to Rotary coordinators, Rotary Public Image coordinators, Regional Rotary Foundation coordinators, and I believe also endowment major gift officers and End Polio Now coordinators if they want it. And from there, the coordinator can share it with their assistants as needed. But I believe you are enrolled in those courses, and you can find those the same way. If you have any trouble, just reach out to learn@rotary.org and we'll get you set up. Emerson, any other questions that you see coming in?
Yes, Kim, there was just one question. Can you show the image on how to sign into the app for the Learning Center? Again, that slide specifically.
Oh, sure. So this you're just going to do the same way as you would on your desktop. You're going to go to Learning and Reference, click on Learning Center, and then this screen here will pop up. So if you've never used the mobile app before, you're going to click No, and this is going to take you either to Google Play or the App Store. Once you download it, you're going to come back to My Rotary, and now you can click Yes, or you can click down here, Continue to the Learning Center. And then you'll get this catalog page here. There might be some pages to skip through. It's like an overview. You can just skip that and get to the course catalog from there.
Perfect. And there was another question asked in the chat. How can PEs add goals to Rotary Club Central when they do not have access to the system? Is there a way to change access so they can easily complete those tasks?
Presidents-elect, as far as I know, should have access to Rotary Club Central. If a specific person does not have access to Rotary Club Central, it could mean a few things. Number one, when they created a My Rotary account, is it connected to their club? Is that account connected to their club? And that's what I was talking about. When you use a different email to create a My Rotary account, you might have multiple profiles in our database. And one of your profile is connected to your Rotary Club while the others might not be if you keep using different emails. So we just have to get those emails figured out. We got to get the right one put in there, the primary one that you want to use, and merge those accounts. So if you do have a My Rotary account and you're still not able to access these goals, that's one problem. The other problem is, as a club president-elect, your club secretary has to go in to our system and note that you are the club president-elect. So if that has not happened, then you just want to make sure that the club secretary has done that so that you can get the correct access. Thanks for that question. I do see a question here about the district governor advanced courses having assignments. So you're specifically speaking to the Toastmaster courses that we have included in those learning plans. And in order to complete the learning plan, I would say just complete the content, and either between now and before your term begins, or when your term begins, you can be doing those projects and getting feedback and continually growing from those. So it's not, those courses are not just like a one-time, one and done. The idea is for all those Toastmaster courses that you take the content, that you do something, do a project. So if it's a speech course, that you develop a speech and you deliver that speech and get feedback on that. And so, but that's a process that can keep happening as many times as you need it to until you're comfortable giving speeches. And so I would just recommend completing the content in those courses, but completing those projects whenever you feel is the best time.
Looks like there's another question in the question and answer section about keywords to find a course within a certain topic.
Yeah, we have the ability to tag courses. Sometimes our AI or artificial intelligence tags them for us. But I would say that's very specific. And I don't actually know if you typed in terminate member, if it would come up, unless it was in a PDF, possibly in a in the learning topic. So that's something I can look into. That's a good question.
And then the last question I think would be helpful for everybody that popped up is, where will a copy of this webinar be found?
Yeah, so we're going to share this on our learning topic. So we have 2 learning topics. One is Rotary Trainers, and that is open to every member, and everybody can post presentations and whatnot in there. So that's a big learning topic available to all, and it's in English. The other learning topic is District Trainer Best Practices, which is available to anybody who has district or regional leader roles. So if your role has the word district in it, you will have access to that learning topic. And that's a little bit more of a curated experience that you have access when you have district in your role title. So they'll be in those 2 places. Yeah. Any final questions before we sign off? I apologize that we were not able to get the Spanish interpretation going, but we are planning to have another webinar, pretty much like this webinar, done again in February for those who may have missed these messages, and we do hope to have simultaneous interpretation available for that. Again, we love to hear from you, hear how you're using these courses. We love to get your feedback and encourage you to let us know what we can be doing more of, what we can be doing better, and how you're incorporating some of these new thoughts and ideas into what you're doing. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great day.